Good afternoon, Parkview. I'm Linny.
And I'm Ashanti.
And we're here with your world news.
The mayor of Paris is threatening to sue Fox News.
The network recently reported on what they called no-go zones for non-Muslim citizens in several European cities, including Paris.
The story was mostly unfounded, and many people feel it painted a negative and inaccurate picture of the cities.
The mayor of Paris was especially upset and is considering suing the network in order to get the story officially recanted and uphold the honor of Paris.
Updates on the lost Air Asia flight are still coming in.
Investigators are not releasing a definite cause to the accident until they have more hard evidence, but from what they can tell in the audio recordings from the cockpit, there's no evidence of terrorist involvement.
The only audio on the recorder is of the pilot sounding busy. There are no other voices or suspicious noises.
What they do know about the flight is that it was traveling through heavy storms at the time of its disappearance.
The pilot had requested to climb several thousand feet to get over the storm, but was denied the request by air traffic control due to heavy air traffic that was already in the area.
There was no communication with the plane after that, but the radar data reveals that the plane ascended at an unusually rapid rate of 6,000 feet per minute right before it disappeared.
The recovered black boxes from the plane are currently being examined for more clues as to why the plane may have gone down.
In medical news, there was recently an outbreak of measles traced back to Disneyland, California.
The measles disease was thought to have been eradicated from the country, but now there's a whole new outbreak.
The spread of the disease was thought to be largely due to the anti-vaccination culture that's currently popular with upper-class people, leaving a lot of young children vulnerable to preventable diseases. In related news, the CDC is reporting that this year's flu vaccination is only about 24% effective, when it usually averages at 60% effectiveness.
So even if you had the vaccine, be sure to wash your hands and try your best to stay healthy.
And if you get the flu, stay home, please.
And finally, in some weirder news, a robot was arrested in Switzerland recently. And yes, you did hear that right.
A Swiss-based artist held an art show earlier this month that he titled The Darknet. The concept behind the show was that he programmed a robot that would go out onto the internet and buy one random item a week using a $100 weekly allowance.
The concept was all fine, except no one anticipated that the robot would accidentally buy illegal items.
The artist came home one day to discover that the robot had bought ecstasy pills and a very convincing-looking fake Hungarian passport.
People following the artist's blog felt very uncomfortable because these items were obviously illegal to own, but who was responsible? The artist wasn't the one who purchased them, but on the other hand, the robot is just a computer program. You can't really arrest that.
No legal decisions were reached right away, so the art show went on as planned.
It wasn't until the day after the art show finished that the police seized the artist's work.
The artist complained that the confiscation was an unjust intervention into freedom of art, which in my opinion sounds a little ridiculous.
They should at least be grateful that their robot was arrested and not them.
That's all we have for you this week, guys. Have a great weekend.
Say that word.
Fine
Okay,
and dandy.
I'm just gonna